friends, hope you all are doing well and staying safe. Welcome back to yet another video of the Football Mania. And I have to tell this, Indian football is in big turmoil. A turmoil which is quite difficult to come out of, a turmoil which we have seen in the past, but this time around, with the kind of draft constitution which has been submitted to the Supreme Court by the Committee of Administrators, it just looks as if there are more than 20 points against which organizations like the FSDL and other state associations are objecting. And this is something of a bit of a shock, to be honest, because the marketing partners in terms of creating money out of this ISL event is the FSDL, and they have the sole right according to the Masters Rights Agreement to run the ISL. And according to the draft constitution which was submitted to the Supreme Court, it clearly says that the AIFF run I League will be given preference over the ISL. And obviously there were clubs which were backing this kind of initiative by the COA, especially clubs like Churchill Brothers, who have been part of the I League for so many years. And it was obvious that there are so many state associations who are still not having their own state leagues, and let alone the kind of people who are working with these state associations. It is an absolute shambles, because you can just see that they have a clear divide of opinion. There is a conflict of interest, and that they are feeling that the COA is not considering any of their suggestions. They're totally rejecting them, and they're going ahead with what they feel is right for promoting Indian football. And even the FSDL was with the same argument, because they feel that their rights are violated and they are being taken away from that kind of responsibility to be in charge of the ISL. ISL, let's be honest, is a very good proposition to have for the growth of Indian football, but in the long run, whatever the COA is doing is going to give dividends, because we are seeing a transition in Indian football where there is an advisory committee whose suggestions have been taken. And even when the delegates from FIFA and AFC had come to India, there were state association members, there were I League clubs, ISL clubs, all the stakeholders were there during that meeting. And I just don't understand why all these points did not get raised before this draft constitution was submitted to the Supreme Court. And as far as official verdict is concerned, it is being revealed that the FSDL members have filed a petition against the COA. With the Supreme Court, they have written a application saying that there are some clauses which are not according to their consensus, and that is just going to create a very, very big divide in Indian football, because what we are seeing is that there is no consensus at the moment. And some people feel that the I League should be given preference over the ISL, and the other stakeholders, including a lot of state associations where they have been having ISL clubs creating a lot of initiatives in terms of grassroots, feel that the ISL should be given the preference. And this is where I personally feel that whatever is the COA is doing at the moment is going to give a long-term impact, a long-term solution, because they feel that a proper roadmap will ensure that the football continues for a very long time. And there will be a structure in place, because they feel that the first division should have 20 teams, then the second division should have 20 teams, and all the champions of the different states. So there will be like 36 teams competing in the third division, out of which there will be a few teams promoted to the second division. That is the kind of roadmap what the COA is looking to execute. But there are people who just don't want football to grow in this country, especially if you talk about organizations like the FSDL. It has been revealed that they pay 55 crores on getting the licenses to run the ISL. That is just an insane amount of money. And if you just feel that the FSDL is doing everything according to whatever is legally binding and ethical, I'm sorry to say that, because if you are giving a lot of money, you are obviously making a lot of money out of the ISL, which is your own baby product. There is no harm in making money But at the end of the day, we all know that the ISL clubs are suffering and suffering insane amount of losses right since the ISL's inception. And at the same time, if we talk about the I League is just trying to survive and they are on thin ice because I just feel that they don't have the kind of investment which is going into ISL clubs. They don't have huge sponsors and they are kind of surviving and riding the tide at the moment. And there are a lot of things according to this draft constitution which are in favor of the I League because at the end of the day they feel that the I League is the kind of league where you have a history, you have a tradition, and all the values of Indian football are preserved through the I League. And as far as the ISL goes, well, it is just a short term gimmick. It is all about making money, and all these franchises have earned huge amounts of profits thanks to the kind of TV rights which they have with Star Sports. And well, I just don't see how India is going to get out of this situation because, on one hand, the Committee of Administrators have drafted this constitution and submitted to the Supreme Court, but there are over 20 points which are kind of raising an objection, and all the state associations, you can say majority of them who are against the COA are still feeling that there are some things which are not going according to plan and that is creating a divide of opinions. So, in my personal view, I feel that the CEO is doing everything possible to ensure that football grows, but some money minded people and organizations, let's be honest, are looking to make money out of the situation. And football, at the end of the day, is the biggest loser because we, as football fans, are having an opinion which for so many years has been neglected by the All India Football Federation. And if that scenario has to change, whatever is being drafted in the constitution has to be approved by the Supreme Court. And I just hope that nothing happens to Indian football. India is able to compete in FIFA and AFC tournaments. And at the end of the day, we want a holistic, harmonious environment to play quality football. That is what we demand as fans, and that is what everyone would expect out of this situation because we don't want India to suffer and just get ousted by FIFA, get a ban by the apex body for governing football all across the world because it will be just a shambles. It will be a very big loss for the entire world because we all know that India is called the sleeping giant for a reason. There is abundance of talent, and can you just imagine what will happen to the academies which are putting their sweat, putting in their blood to invest on the youth and bring out players who can in future represent the Blue Tigers. They're doing whatever it can, and all those dreams will be shattered because of these few fickle minded people and organizations which are doing whatever it can to disregard Indian football. That is the least I can say because this is what the harsh reality is at the moment. And if you think about the All India Football Federation, they are in a very big dilemma. They are neither here nor there. Everything is being done to ensure that the elections do take place by the 15th of September. But by the looks of it, the Supreme Court has to first deal with the kind of objections which have been raised by the FSDL and several state associations. Once the Supreme Court gets a solution from that, it will be able to go forward and give the approval for the draft constitution. And there will be a lot of conflicts in the near future, but I just hope and pray to the Almighty that the Indian football ecosystem is safe and we have quality football to see and FIFA does not ban Indian football. That is the least or the worst thing which can happen and I just hope for the best. So guys, what do you think about FSDL as an organization and why do you think this objection is going to take place? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section and if you like this video, please do not forget to hit the like button and share it amongst your network. And obviously, the football mania is going to keep a track of all the latest developments from the world of football. So if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, and until next time, stay safe and take care.